Hi guys, in today's video I am sharing 11 pieces of advice or 11 tips for the best experience and the best outcomes for working from home. Hello, welcome to my channel. If you're watching this video soon after the published date, you know what's going on. Coronavirus, everyone is isolated from each other, everyone is in quarantine. A lot of people, so basically right now it's a law for people to, if you can work from home, then work from home. And obviously if you are in the support and essential businesses and industries, you have to show up to work and do your job as best as you can to support all of us, the whole society. We are thanking you if you have to show up to work and take care of everything around the country. But if you are a person who is now required to work from home, at first it probably sounded like such a cool idea of being able to work from home. But if you have never done it before, it might be very challenging. I am a former corporate worker and I used to work from home quite a lot on a regular basis. And it's not like the majority of my time was obviously spent at the office. Whenever I had a doctor's appointment or whenever I had to stay home to wait for like a valuable package or something like this, we had the flexibility to work from home and it was a normal thing for us to do. A few years ago, I transitioned from the corporate career to now being a work-at-home mom. I'm a wedding photographer and I take care of my small children at home right now. So basically everything that I do is work from home. And I thought I would share my best advice and my best tips that I'm using in my life almost always. And when I use them, my day goes so much better. And when I do not, it doesn't feel as fulfilling, or at times it can feel very frustrating. So I thought I would share with you if you're just starting this new journey with working from home, or maybe you have done it before and just want to refresh, or maybe some fresh ideas with the best things to implement when you're working from home, then this video is for you. And my pieces of advice are going to be lining up, I guess, from a logical standpoint. I'm not sure if it is going to make sense to everyone. Maybe some of the items could be mixed up and like replaced. One would go before the other, but for me, that's the way my brain works, and that's how I would be working, like from the morning kind of, and like from the planning standpoint, and then on to more of the generic tips and tricks. So number one would be to plan your day before your day begins, even in the morning, but I would suggest probably in the evening, the night before. Plan what your day is going to look like, what your morning routine is going to be like, what time you're getting up, what you have to get done before you have to show up to work, what you're having for breakfast, what you're wearing, which hours of the day you're working. If it's not like 8 to 5, 9 to 5, whatever hours, maybe it's a little bit shifted for you. So what hours you're working, who is taking care of your children or your pets if you have those in your life. Are you having a video calls with your co-workers or with your potential clients? What your background needs to look like? Do you need to look more presentable than normally? So you need to be aware of those things to be able to have a successful day. The tip number two would be to get enough sleep. I know it's such a big temptation to stay up late a little bit and be like, oh, that's okay, I'm staying home, I don't have to commute, it saves me an hour and a half probably for the getting ready, that's okay. And it's such a wrong idea to have, because if you are sleep deprived and tired, the whole day will be very difficult for you, and it will be very difficult to stay up because you're home, and then staying productive is very difficult. So I would tell you, get enough sleep so that you're feeling productive, happy, and you can do your job. Tip number three would be to do not skip your normal hygiene routine that you normally do in the morning. If you wash your hair, if you shower in the morning before normally going into the office, do it. Brush your teeth, do your hair, makeup, do what you normally do for your work days, because if you skip those things, you will not feel as productive and you will not feel as good about yourself as you could have. And spending 15 to 20 minutes to what you normally do to make yourself feel like a normal human being is extremely important. Number four would be getting dressed appropriately. I know that you're not at the office, you don't need to wear probably high heels and jacket or something like this, and you are absolutely welcome to wear more relaxed and more casual clothing. But again, if you're having video conference or video consultation, or just in general being dressed is way better than wearing pajamas, because your state of mind is oriented for work and being productive, and you feel so much better about yourself that if a delivery person comes and knocks on your door, which right now being on the quarantine, probably no one should be showing up by your door, but if for some reason you were to be seen by other people, you should not be embarrassed and you should feel good about yourself. I know this from my personal experience so well, that if sometimes I sleep in a little bit, if I had a rough night, or if I went to bed later than I should have, when I wake up and I'm like, oh, that's okay, I don't have time to do my hair and makeup or get dressed, I feel so much worse throughout the day that it's not even funny. I make it a very important point for myself to get my hair and makeup done and then get dressed well. Number 5 is such an important tip, especially right now, being on quarantine and being so out of the routine. The things that we are doing right now is so not normal for us. No one has a set of rules and set of workflows that we are following, and it's so crucial to have amazing communication with everyone in your life, be it your employer who sent you home, or if you are a boss and if you have employees, if you're communicating with your employees, your partner, your children, your caregivers, the caregivers for your children, everyone who is currently involved into your life on the day-to-day basis. You need to communicate as much as possible about everything in your life. Basically, the plan that you made from the tip number 1, whatever your day is going to look like, you have to communicate and over communicate with everyone in your life so that people know what exactly going on and who is responsible for what. So you need to talk to people about which hours of the day you are staying online or offline, which hours you're working, when you have conferencing or phone calls, what your family's having for lunch, who is taking care of the children, if they're smaller, who's changing their diapers when, and if you have bigger kids, who's doing their schoolwork with them, like homeschooling in the current situation, or homework afterward, who is taking the dog for a walk, or basically anything that will be happening with you throughout the day. You have to communicate, because it's all so different and all so new, that things will fall through their cracks, and then there will be like, you have a video call with a potential client and then there's screaming toddler running around butt naked, and then you have no idea who's taking care of him. So communicate and over communicate. Number 6 would be to have a prioritized task list for work and then for home. Obviously, because right now we're talking about work life specifically, it is a very smart idea to have a to-do list for today that you're planning on accomplishing, and have it in the prioritized manner so that you can communicate with either your boss, your manager, or again, if you have employees, you're going to tell them what you are working on so that they know what's going on, what is expected from them. But in the most of the cases, I would suspect that we are reporting to managers, and just send them the email. Again, that's the point about communication. Tell them, this is what I'm working on today, this is my top priority, I will start working on that, and that would help you to stay very focused and very productive throughout the day. Tip number 7 would be to eliminate all of the distractions. It is so tempting to have a Netflix show on or to have a YouTube video on, and here I'm like, well, if you are working and watching my video, maybe you shouldn't be watching it, or maybe finish watching it and then go concentrate on your work. You guys, I feel like having a certain level of distraction that you normally have at the office is acceptable and is okay. If you have people walking by your cubicle, or if you are sitting side by side with your coworkers and you talk to them once in a while, or if normally when you work you have podcast or music in your ears, that's fine to have, because you are used to producing certain quality of work with that level of distraction. However, if you are watching TV and trying to type up the email, or trying to work on some kind of project that you are trying to deliver by the end of the day, it is not a good idea. You will not be able to stay productive and stay well concentrated. So yes, eliminate as many of the distractions as possible and try to stay concentrated on what you have to accomplish. Number 8 would be to take breaks that you normally take at work. If you have a morning coffee break, or water break, water cooler break, or bathroom break, if you have a lunch break, or like afternoon break, Take those breaks because your body and your mind needs them. Go for a walk, take a break, get a cup of coffee, get a cup of water, use the restroom, maybe spend 10 to 15 minutes doing squats or push-ups or jumping jacks or something. Take breaks so that your brain doesn't get fried by the end of the day. Number 9 would be to check in regularly with your coworkers as well as your bosses and managers. Because the situation is so new, I am sure that your management is pretty stressed and like they not actually sure if you are doing what you're supposed to be doing without the close supervision. And I know it's a little sad to say, but we as adults, we're not very responsible sometimes, and sometimes we don't do the job that we should be doing. So they are stressed about how you are performing. So just check in regularly with them, and as soon as you get something done, email them and be like, okay, this is done, now I'm starting working on this one. Again, it's about communication and over communication, but like I feel like that tip about communication is talking about the setting expectation for the whole day, and here I'm talking about regular check-ins throughout the day. I feel like those are super important. And just in case if your priorities has shifted or your management priorities, or like if something came up that you need to start working on, they will be able to tell you, or you will be able to let them know with what's going on in your life, if you're stuck, if you need help, and any of those things. Number 10 is the tip about really do the work that you're supposed to be working. Don't watch TV, don't sleep, don't hang out with your children, don't just move the mouse around so that you are active in the system but you're actually not doing the job. So there are two ways to look at it. You have either the goodness of the heart to do your job well and to be like very conscious employee and get your job well done when you're at home. And on the other hand, if you are not that kind of person, if you feel like, oh, it's okay if I slack for like an hour, so if I take a nap quietly and let my 5-year-old move my mouse every 15 minutes. Well, this situation here, you know how small businesses and large businesses are going to be struggling. People are losing money. Right now, I am not working because my weddings, that the ones that I was supposed to be photographing are all postponed, and they will be happening. No one knows when. They're canceled until further notice. No one knows when we're allowed to start working again. The same thing with all non-essential businesses. There is a very high chance that people will be fired and laid off. So this is a very good chance for you to prove to your employees that you are a hard-working person, that you are an employee who is worth their salary, and that you are doing the best job possible. So I would really encourage you to do the best job possible right now. I mean, in general, but right now it is even more important. And then the last piece of advice I would give you is to try to keep your space clean. It is very challenging. I know this from a personal experience, especially when the whole family unit right now is at home. Everyone is making messes slowly. If you have smaller children, then there's like very intentional messes. They're just dumping things on the floor. However, even having a few people in the house, when you have lunch, when you have snacks, getting water, when you're doing your work, pulling out paperwork or schoolwork for kids, is just accumulating so fast, and if you're not cleaning up regularly, it becomes pretty messy. So my encouragement to you is try to stay on top of the cleaning up throughout the day, and if for some reason you got busier than you thought, you were not able to clean up as you go, try to clean up in the evening, and in the morning prepare your space so that you have a beautiful clear space for you to think and for you to function, as well as for your family to function. And again, if you have video calls, it will be very pleasant for people to look at the beautiful space rather than cluttered up and dirty space. And I'm just going to tell you that if you have a decluttered space and somewhat organized space where everything has a space for itself, it is way easier to maintain it to be clean. And I'm currently working on this. I'm on the journey of like decluttering a lot, and if you need motivation for decluttering, for cleaning, for organizing, I'm going to link some videos throughout this video with the decluttering and cleaning motivation, as well as some in the description of this video, and you're welcome to check those out so that in the evening after your work is done, you can either encourage your family to clean and declutter, or the kids can watch cartoons or go to the backyard, and maybe you can declutter and clean a little bit for yourself. I hope this video was helpful to you guys. I really hope it helps you to have better days with staying home and working from home. I would love to hear from you. What is your current situation? Are you a business owner that you are staying home? Are you quarantined at home and completely not being able to do anything, or are you working on like behind the scenes part of your business? Or if you are an employee or a manager who is considered to be not essential business and that's why you're working from home, or maybe, I don't know, can you be an essential business and work from home? Probably, maybe. Let me know what your current situation is. And you guys, on this channel I talk about tips and tricks and advice that help working moms, in my case work at home moms, to have a better, satisfying life and happy, beautiful families, homes, and careers. If you have any questions to me, feel free to leave me a comment below or message me on social media. I would love to hear from you, and I hope to see you in my next video. Stay healthy and have a wonderful day. Bye bye.